Button. You're like, I need to record episode 70.
Yeah.
I don't know how to bring it in. That's why I go to Neil. Do you want to bring it in? Why'd your camera go blurry?
I don't know. It does that sometimes. I can't figure it out.
Good. Well, I'm glad I recorded that part.
It's so blurry. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Because it's episode 70 of the Strength Hammer podcast, so let's be as least professional as possible. Welcome.
Episode 70.
Yes.
The just kidding last episode was not, in fact, episode 70.
Yes. I tried to do a quick editing, but if you were not watching the YouTube, you're like, it's episode 70. Why did it say episode 69? It's like, well, because I can't count or check my stuff beforehand. Wow, your video is very blurry, Neil. Sorry.
Well, let me turn it off and turn it back on here.
Yeah, try it. I don't know. This would be interesting if it doesn't come back on. Well, it's coming. Here we go.
I think they're streaming something upstairs. That's probably what it is.
Oh, those damn kids. Can't win any, can't win a game, wanting cats, using all that Ohio internet. I mean, you only got like half a gig or something, right? You know?
Yeah. A lot of OnlyFans streaming going on. No, I'm kidding.
Whatever your wife does, that's fine. It's her thing.
Right.
But yes, episode 70. It feels like a landmark, even though it's not a landmark. I guess 100's the landmark we're shooting for now.
Yeah. I mean, 75.
75's a good number.
That'll be a good one, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. We do have more subscribers. Like, we're slowly starting to gain some traction. So welcome. Hopefully you weren't tricked into subbing, because we just talked about our bullshit.
Hopefully you understand what this is. It is the most professional podcast on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's good. No, we just want to sit here and chat, talk about Warhammer, fitness, all that fun stuff. But actually, I think a big part of it is that video I did recently about my plans for my Cities of Sigmar army, because I actually tried to be a real YouTuber with it. I did the shocked face thumbnail. I did sort of clickbaity title. I was just chatting, had some visuals up, had the late summer crickets of Western Pennsylvania going on fierce. It was.
You won't believe what she has to say about Chuck's new project.
She needs to shut her damn mouth, because I don't know who she is, and she's talking shit.
That's right. I mean, I want to know what she's saying.
I do too. Is it good? Is it bad? We'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into the usual preamble. So Neil, your fitness. Give me some good news. Give me some good news. Come on, something, anything.
I mean,
anything. Jazz handing over here.
It's kind of it's nothing like official for myself, right? Like I've been very busy with my kids. I'm coaching them. I'm taking them out on days where they don't have practices. I'm running around and playing ball with them and stuff.
Okay.
It's nothing like it's nothing like I'm going out and I'm trtraining for anything or I'm doing any of that kind of stuff. But I'm being active, So
that's a healthy lifestyle.
That's a win for me.
Yeah. 100%. That's a healthy lifestyle. That is good to see. And I'm going to count it for the first time in weeks. Neil gives us something substantial for the fitness end of this podcast.
Little notch, little feather in the cap that you can see.
There we go.
Here.
Myself, I continue to do my bodybuilding program, although today I switched it up. It's been rough lately with like work and some things going on. Not like terribly rough, but like more stressful than it usually is. So when you get stressed, you go deadlift. That's what I do. You pick up the heavy circles. It takes everything out of you and it humbles you and makes you good to go. So I did deadlifting today, even though my program doesn't have any deadlifting in it at all. But it felt good. And as usual, you post it up on the internet, and someone with fucking 12 followers and a fucking Patriots logo on their fucking headers, just like, here's how your form's wrong, and it's like, thanks, okay, appreciate you. Go eat a dick. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. I'll do better for you, internet man.
Yes, I just, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me take this. Maybe I don't think this is trying to explain anything to me. Maybe I didn't know who they were. I just assumed they saw something and said, you know what? I know this. Let me pass on the knowledge to a brother. And I was like, you know what? No response. That's sure. That's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever. I try to take the
unsolicited
benefit of the.
internet advice
Yeah. It's like I don't want your
guy is
advice, but
yeah,
I assume you're coming at it with me with good intentions. But you come off like a dick.
right. Unsolicited, internet advice guy is like a subshoot of, the actually internet guy. They're slightly different, but they're in the same,
What's interesting? 'Cause
they're Venn diagram crosses, right?
yeah, I've had people like help me with forms before, but it's usually actually on Instagram. They'll private message me and be like, "Hey, I saw that, looking good. I saw this in your form. Maybe try this." And it's not so much as in you're wrong, do this, as opposed to, "Hey, I see this might be wrong in your form. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Here's some knowledge I have. Do with it what you will."
Yeah.
That's appreciated because sure, we're always
Yeah,
learning.
or, just say, "Hey, if you want some advice on your form, I'm here and I've got a few things I could give you,"
Yeah,
and put it back in the other person's court,
perfect.
just common etiquette, right?
Yep.
Unsolicited advice, the worst vice is advice, right?
Yeah. Next time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna watch them bag it up. Be like, "Here's how you fucked up." Not,
Right.
hey, you know what? I'll do it myself. I got this.
Right,
Like, no, you,
right, right.
you 17-year-old child, as a 37-year-old man, I'm gonna tell you how you're bagging these groceries wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, careful with the unsolicited advice.
yes. Yeah, but no, it's good. Fitness is going strong. Uh, yeah. My diet's not the best right now. I will say that. We're approaching that fall
Well, I
season,
just
and
had, 2 chili dogs and some french fries, so,
well, my breakfast, lunch, and dinners always the same. Like across the week, like I'll switch it up, but like it's always I tend towards the healthier side, keep it balanced. But this time of year I tend to snack more because the snacks I like the most are out this time of year. So
those,
yes,
Halloween Oreos.
they're one of
Let's
it.
get
I'm
it.
doing better with them. I what I do is okay, so it's kind of like I get one bag and I just let myself go. No holds bars. And then anything I buy after
Uh-huh.
that first bag, it's like, you know what? Okay, it's after dinner. I want to have a small treat. I'll have two, three, or four, no more than that. I stop. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like that's like a hard stop, and like that's my treat for the day. Um,
dude, Oreos are like Lay's potato chips, man. You can't just eat
it's
one, man.
hard.
You
I said
gotta
that's why I do that first bag and let myself go
eat
all
one.
in. Like I'm like, here's my pass, go ahead, but
Uh-huh.
because like you can, yeah, because like that's not gonna like, and
You
also
want
it's
it like
like,
Cookie Monster, it's just a
yeah.
sleeve gone. Now you're worried about your sugars.
Well, that's the other thing too. We had the moment because it was when I had that like bag, like it was near the end of it. I just went to town. I had like 9 fucking Oreos, like in a sitting. I'm like, we were just hobbying. I was like, Neil, I ate too much. I've made a mistake. And like, I think back to like 5, 10 years ago, I would never feel that way. Now you're older, you process things differently. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
limit. I found there's a limit to my sugar intake now, and it's actually really. Here's the other bad part. Today, one of the treats I had was a pumpkin spice latte, not from Starbucks, from a local place, so it's a little bit more handmade. And I forgot to tell them to put in half the amount of syrup. And let me tell you, if I was at a bar and this lady was my bartender, I'd be very happy. But like I took a sip of it and I was like, oh, there's just too much sugar in this. It's just like I love pumpkin. We're
Can't go
wi-
wrong with a PSL, no matter how
yeah.
it's made.
Nah, it was too sweet. I mean, it was too sweet. I drank most of it, but I was like, I can't. I just like there's a tolerance for sugar anymore, which sucks because I have a sweet tooth, and that feeling of wanting to eat sweets is never going away. But my tolerance
Uh,
to eat sweets is diminishing because of age or whatnot. But thankfully, also like I'm
I
not.
hear you.
I do enough and don't let this go on all year because I'm not diabetic. Because dear God, that would suck.
Yes.
Where were we? Oh yes, we're fitness.
We're yeah,
Yeah, fitness is
we're
going well.
finishing up fitness.
I'm snacking more, and I'll begin to rein that back in and that sort of stuff. But it's not really a problem because also I'm still within my weight range and all that fun happy stuff. So I'm happy with where my body's at. I can just tell I've eaten more. But I digress. Tonight's show, you may be wondering if you're a regular listener why we're skipping hobby chat, because tonight is just going to be a kind of a catch up episode. We have a lot of stuff going on hobby wise. We wanted to generally talk about it. None of the things seemed like they were at a place where we could deep dive in on them. I think, does that sound right?
Mhm.
Like our big projects at that moment, but
Yeah, not a huge deep dive, but
we can go a little
I
deep.
can,
We can go a little deep. So
yeah.
Neil, I'll let you kick it off. Let's start with let's start with the basics. What's some of the basic, not your big projects. What's some of the basic hobby stuff you're doing lately?
Basic hobby stuff. I mean,
Yeah, models, building, painting, games, that usual stuff.
I haven't touched painting of a actual like miniature in a while. What I've been doing is, I mean, this goes into the major hobby projects, but major hobby projects are just a bunch of small hobby projects that become big. I have been printing out lots of. Let's see if I can get it up here. I don't know if anybody can see that
It's a little
or
blurred, but
not.
hold it flat so we can see it top
Uh,
down.
hold it flat, top down.
Yeah,
There we go.
hex,
Little hexes.
little hex campaign map
So,
grid right there.
yes, we are doing a campaign that is going to span 2 states, actually. So, we're gonna do a hex campaign, like a full-on map with printed out hexes, and, there's gonna be an ocean, and the ocean is gonna separate 2 continents, and one continent will be, Mordor, which is essentially Pennsylvania. So, no, it won't actually be Mordor, but that's the way we like to
Wait,
think
wait.
about
If you
Pennsylvania.
spell it Moordor and then Larakayo or something, it could be. You know what I mean? Like we're
It
getting
could
it.
be like, yeah, Mordor, I love it. Yeah, so it'll be Pennsylvania, it'll be, the Ren 4 guys over here, some kinda I wouldn't say handpicked or selected, but, a lot of the guys who are I kinda in my immediate group that I play with a lot, are gonna be participating. And I think, you probably would say the same thing, um, about yourselves over there,
Yep.
so,
Actually,
but yeah, I mean, we got
sorry, random thought. I know you said there's an ocean in between. You need to put one
uh
in the middle that's an island, and that's where Matt is, since he's between both of us directly.
that's hilarious, actually. Yeah, he could just sit
Wow.
there and, like,
Hold on, that put that
yeah.
back up. That looks really nice. That painted up really well, especially that flock. Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really
I don't know if
nice.
you can.
It's coming in a little bit. It's coming in a little bit.
Anyway, yeah. So it's been a lot of fun doing this. I mean, like I've got a little river tile right here, little bridge, flocking it up, making some roads, making some little trees for like a top-down thing.
Mm-hmm.
And because I like to do too much, what I'm going to be doing is when we eventually get the whole map together, I'm going to take a top-down picture of it, and I'm going to kind of I'm making a supplement for this map campaign, just like I used to do for bars. So
Yep.
there's going to be an actual book that's going to go with this because, when I get into something, just dominoes start falling, and then I'm
Yep.
starting to work on stuff, and then it becomes this giant project that, eventually, slowly kills me. But what we're going to do with it is kind of take a picture of it, and then I'm going to name the rivers. I'm going to name the mountain ranges. I'm going to turn it into like an actual map.
Nice. Okay.
So, that you could look at and say, "Oh, that's the river whatever, and that's the mountain range whatever." I'll probably have some pretty corny names, but I'll try. But and then every seat like we're doing this for 12 turns, so we're all meeting once a month and doing a hobby day, and then you can get your game in, whenever through the month. But there's going to be a dedicated game day to actually making your moves and everything. Um, but there's going to be 12 rounds, so it's going to last an entire year, and then we'll tally stuff up. There's going to be many different ways to win, just like I like to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So be just having the most hexes or anything like that. We'll have all sorts of things that we're going to do with it. We're also going to have a narrative hero that's going to, you get to create it almost like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of creation system, only it's going to be focused on AOS
I
and
mean, you can
creating your own.
always use Soulbound.
Oh, look at that. Well, we have to use Matt's rule set, or
Ah, no, you
he'll
don't. What does
disown
he
me as
know?
a friend.
What does he know?
Yeah, son of a bitch Neil will be will turn into something different altogether.
Actually,
So,
so I was talking map campaigns with my shop owner Norm, who's the one helping me getting into Napoleonics, because I have almost the whole Napoleonics army right here. Um, but he was telling me about what him and his group used to do. Is they would do a much bigger group than we're doing, obviously, and they would meet
uh-huh.
once every month or every other month, however the schedule worked out for them. But there would always be essentially a emperor and a prime minister of every force. So you had two people per team. So like Neil, me and you, we'd be playing Corn. You'd be the emperor of the Corn. I'd be the prime minister. We had Dave and Cole. They'd be playing Ideneth. One's emperor, one's prime minister. The emperor would always have final say in tactical decisions with the map
Nice.
campaign itself.
Uh-huh.
However, both had agency to make deals, like obviously like diplomacy type things, a little triumph and treachery type stuff.
Sure.
But what that caused, which this is where it got really exciting for me, is so say me and you are Emperor Prime Minister of Corn. You make a deal with Dave, who's the Prime Minister of Ideneth. Okay? But the next time we meet, you can't make it. So I'm there and I'm in charge of all the corn because Prime Minister's going to take over when the Emperor's busy.
Yeah.
And I start doing stuff, and Dave's like, well, he made this deal. Well, just like real life, like, well, he's not here, and I don't know he didn't tell me anything. So this is what I'm doing. So it
Yeah.
caused a fun shenanigans to happen. I'm just saying,
Uh-huh.
as we grow this,
Yeah.
could happen. It could
Well,
happen.
there will be a currency system. So we're using Path to Glory as like a base rule set, and we're going to be kind of like cherry picking some stuff, throwing some
Right.
stuff out as far as like your hero goes, things like that. But glory points is a big thing in Path to Glory. I really do love the 3.0 Path to Glory system. I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
excellent.
pretty
It is.
awesome.
It is excellent. Yeah.
Um, so we're going to be changing that as far as like the empires themselves are going to be able to affect glory points as well. But that's going to be your currency. It's your currency to grow your realm. It's your currency to build your armies. It's your currency to just like in Path to Glory, if your unit has taken casualties, to replace your casualties and all that kind of stuff. It's also your unit your currency to make deals with, right?
Nice. Okay. I
Um,
like it.
I could build my empire with it, or I could see somebody else's giant empire and I don't want them coming my way. So I could try to, throw some money out at them to get them to, go some other direction or do whatever, or attack this guy in secret or whatever,
Right.
focus in on this guy or whatever. So there is a currency system there. I expect deals to be made. I'm still very much in the preliminary rule gathering
Yeah.
of
Well,
this. So
as
I'm
as we
definitely thinking of,
as we break things, you'll squash it right then and there.
yeah, we're gonna have if multiple people attack the same hex, there's gonna be games where there's gonna be multiple players on the same map. There's so we're gonna have that whole thing, basically that triumph and treachery type games going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So we're gonna be stealing from a bunch of stuff. I'm very excited for it. I've always wanted to do something like this. Bars was honestly my first attempt at
Mm-hmm.
trying to do something like this, and only having 2 days to do it in.
Yeah. But
So now I get to play with it for an entire year. So
plus, also, there's the benefit. So like, the broader you try and reach out to do something with, the harder it is to control to the level you want. So like when you were doing it to such a
right,
broad audience, there was going to be issues and there's going to grind against probably how you'd want to do things.
yeah,
Since it's just your close group, you're gonna be able to keep a tighter grip on it, change things. Like it could be 2 weeks in, like, hey guys, we're gonna change this because this is screwing things up. We'll all be like, okay,
yeah,
like not a big
yep,
deal.
yep, yep. If I
So
start to see something getting way out of whack, I've tried to build in rules so like if you're the last, if you got your this is your city, and it's last hex you got, then there's rules where you're getting extra points in your game. I'm doing everything to help you stay in this game at least with one hex, so you can keep playing.
Right.
If there's still the chance you're going to lose and you're going to get booted out, but hopefully that's going to take a number of months to happen. So
Now,
regardless,
I'm curious, is this
uh,
going to be, since we're using Path to Glory, is it going to be sort of like escalation? Are we starting at a certain points level and growing?
we will be. Yep. So we'll be starting at a unit level.
Okay.
And then that unit level basically you pick and choose your game, right? So if you want to play 1,000 points, the way Path to Glory rules work, you can play 1,000. If you want to play 2,000, you can play 2,000.
Okay.
What I will be doing is designing rules for each faction. So say if Sylvaneth is defending a a forest,
Mm-hmm.
right? They should be harder to kill, right? They should get some kind of bonus,
Right.
right? So they're going to get so these games are going to be lopsided points wise a little bit.
Right.
They might get 100 extra points they get to play with because they're in a forest. They're defending a forest. Now, if they're out in the middle of the plains and they're defending a plains tile or a mountain tile, okay, no, they don't get those bonuses. What we're going to do is faction terrain. One thing, I think a lot of people gripe about in regular games is like, why is that corn altar thing on the board? Like, did they drag it with them? Like, how did we get here on this battle? So, um, what we're going to do is your faction terrain can only be played if you're defending a tile. You
Because
can't.
it's your
So
okay, that makes sense.
it's your own tile, right? So your faction terrain could potentially be there. Now, if you go attack somebody else's, their faction terrain may be there, but yours is not. Okay, you left that behind. That's back there. You didn't drag that altar with you. It's
Right.
not happening.
Right.
So, um, things that are going to make defending a little bit easier. And then, there'll be different bonuses around. I may do some kind of like a wheel or like a roll off to like, okay, this is the season. This turn, corn's going bonkers. All right, this is corn's time, right?
Yep.
So they get whatever, just kind of like old coalescence did.
Yep.
Like so, random rules like that. So, and I got that from just talking to you the other week about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love giving ideas to you and not having to worry about how they fucking work. It's the best. Like, here's a string of cool things in my head, and you're just like, awesome. What do I do with this? I'm like, I don't know. That's your issue now.
I'll figure it out though, for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
figure it out. Hopefully, it won't turn into just a whole mess of everybody just kind of staring at me like going, "Wait, what?" But we'll
That
see.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I, I'm
But
ki-
that's
I,
yeah, that's me.
I'm kind of curious on it because I'm trying to think because my Path to Glory army I have is Iron Jaws. They're at 1,000 points, and with the points changes recently, they were slightly over until actually I'm doing it right now. Hold on. So I had a was it Mega Boss as one of my characters because
Mhm.
I have the old uh what's his name? He's from the MMO. The War
Oh,
Boss
nice. Yeah.
has some
Uh-huh.
it's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, well I have two of these. I have one that I got my original one, which was painted up nicely, and this one I found used. And the only thing downside is like this the shaman gauntlet top was missing his little staff moon thing, so I just put something else on it. But this was
Uh-huh.
always stood in as a war boss for me because he's so cool. The problem was it was on a huge base and it looked kind of silly. Like he's not he's probably one of the smallest. I have old Ard boys and then, a couple, basic stuff. But like he was like not super big. But then I
Yeah.
realized with the points came in, they updated stuff. Obviously things got a little more expensive because Ard boys got better. The
Mhm.
uh now they have the Ard boss, which is like the Ard boys leader. So I was able to
Yeah.
put him back on a base that makes sense, which I'm working on right now, just to get the basing back up, and
Right.
switch that in for the Mega Boss. And all of a sudden, I went from 1,020 points back down to 980, which is I like to keep this army around 1,000.
Uh-huh.
But I'm kind of torn because like on one level I could do this army again for Path of Glory and just be like a rampaging orc and have some fun with it, and maybe grow it, get some of the big pigs and that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Or I do this, the cities thing I'm planning. And it's
Yeah.
but both are in my mind as something cool to do.
And I'm thinking about making cities of Sigmar armies. They get some kind of bonus if they're defending a settlement or if they're defending a castle or something like that. So I've got all these different ideas floating around for these different factions. Obviously if like you're Ideneth and you're on a coastal territory, you're going to get bonuses on a coastal territory. If you
Oh
leave the
yeah.
coastal territory and you're Ideneth, you might get a little bit of a negative
What
coming
if you
at you.
follow the like okay, but
You follow like a river and
no, no,
stuff.
but
Yeah, I've
if you
thought about
start at
that.
if you're near the river, you don't have any negatives. But if you
Right.
start at the coast and follow the river up, you can bring your bonus with you as long as you never leave the river.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
sea can flow. Yeah. See,
Yeah.
this is I love giving you random bullshit things like Neil. You figure out how this works.
Yeah, I love that. I've had that kind of thing in my head there. It's just how am I gonna get it down? How am I gonna play with it?
Right.
So, I actually already have Canva up. I'm already starting the quote unquote book. I'm
Nice.
already starting to organize that kind of stuff. My wife's like, "What are you doing down there all the time?" Like, "Don't worry about it. I got a thing. If the brain's going, I got to get what's in here. I got to get it out."
See,
So it's not going to stop until it comes out. So
I love that feeling too because I've been doing it on a different level where I've been like just looking at all my armies and like what can I add, what can I kit bash, what can I change, like actual models. Like that orc was one of them today. Um, Also, right now I have, and I'm sorry. Was there any more of the map campaign before I segue into my stuff?
No, but if anybody's curious about doing this, I will say out on Cults 3D, they're called Mighty Empires tiles, and they are free. So it's free STLs. You can download them. They're pretty basic. Like this is a little orc castle, and they are focused on old Warhammer Fantasy. So if you want to do like a eighth edition or an old world, map campaign, these things are out there. They're also going to work really well for Sigmar, and they've got ones like this castle's from one that we all got together and kind of threw some money in, most of us anyway.
Mhm.
And I did not because I'm a poor bastard and I'm printing them out.
You're
So,
printing them. You know, you
but,
you don't have to. You're not paying for anything.
so
Your printer's earning that for
I know,
us.
sure, but anyway, these things are out there and they're pretty freaking cool.
Mhm.
And honestly, like if I wasn't even doing this campaign, like having printed some of these, I'd want this just around to kind of like I don't know, do something corny like having like my own kingdom, like or like this is where like making a map with it. I just think it's really cool. So if you're looking for something like that, that stuff's out there. So, but that's all I have
Yes.
to say about that.
No, that's fantastic, and I can't wait. And truth be told, the depending on when we start this, will determine if I start with Iron Jaws or if my cities are at a point where I feel comfortable bringing them with what I'm planning to do with it. So we'll see for that. But yeah, my stuff. I guess there'll be a YouTube video coming out on it soon. But if you've seen my social medias, I built and primed. Also, I'm gonna be really clear with this. Okay, well, I'll say this PSA after. So I built and primed 750 Primaris and Furnace Space Marines. They're the easy to build. Like you don't have glue, you don't need clippers. You just pop them out. They're like the Gunpla plastic. Pop them out, put them together. It's not hard, but it's not fun or easy. But just kind of you just do it. So I'm doing. There's a
Yeah.
whole YouTube video I'm putting together coming out on that. Plus it's on social media. But here's where the gripe comes in. Oh, and also, quick heads up. I was told I was getting 1500. I was on pace to build 1500. As I was going through what I had, I said this isn't 1500. It was only 750. When I told them, they're like, "Well, shit." We told them to send
Yeah.
you 1500. But my GW supervisor, because this was a GW thing, I was getting paid for this. It's their product. Like I didn't pay for any of this. But so I'm only doing 750. I was like, oh darn, it'd be cool to have 1500, but 750 was still pretty cool to look at and do. So I was excited for that.
Yeah.
But here's where the gripe comes in. Just, this is very different. It's even more like slide to the step of giving advice. I found how to create engagement in social media like no one else before. You take a cool project like building 750 Infernus Primaris Space Marines. You then in the post, like you do a cool little video, like a little flyby. Looks cool. It looks great. It's awesome. Then in the post, you clearly state that you work for Games Workshop. This is the easy to build. You're building it for them. They are paying you. And this is going to be primed, not painted, just primed, built and primed, and sent off to the events team to give away. You lay that out as clear as fucking day. And every other comment is, but why? What's this for? Is it for this? I can't wait to see it painted. Oh my god, how much money did you spend? It's like, dear God, people, read the fucking text. No one fucking reads, all right? You know, like this. It's a book. It's a book. I know we can watch Doug on 2 Plus Tough and Man Reads Book and like and AOS Coach and Warhammer Weekly, and they can tell us all the pretty things in here, all right? But there's these little squiggly things called words, and if you read them, you fucking understand what's going on. There's your PSA. Fucking people. Dear God. Like, it's just like, I appreciate the love and the likes and the shares, but I'm like, just read the text. And I'm not going to respond. I actively chose immediately. I'm not responding to any of these because I'd be sending the same thing over and over again. Please read the original post. Please read the original post.
Yeah.
But if you want engagement, that's what you do. You clearly define what's going on, and people don't read.
Anybody who's ever wrote a tournament pack will tell you that. So,
see, I think people have actually read my tournament packs, or at least they winged it enough to not have to ask stupid questions. They at least go, you know what? I should have read this. I didn't. I'll just go with the flow.
uh-huh.
No. And I get some. Anyway, it's the most meaningless rant I think I've ever had. But just like, I bet I could look at my phone right now, because like I said, that the post is popping off. Yep. Oh, here's some new things. Got a lot of likes, some shares.
How many views you got on this thing? Everybody talk amongst themselves.
Oh, but why? An hour ago. But why? It's got 655 shares, 75 comments, and almost 2,000 likes.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, wait, what's this now? Someone 20 minutes ago told me to not lock my knees on a really old... What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, I should just stop. Don't lock your knees. I didn't like, I think it was a leg day thing. What do you fucking people want?
Back to hobby before you start raging.
I'm gonna call this person out. Okay, so, here's a good comment. Some people see in Furnace Marines, they make a salamanders joke. Perfect, great, all good. So you put flame emojis, wonderful. Someone just did that. I'm gonna like that post because you know what? You're not a tool.
Oh man,
I can't. I don't get it.
Now you got some other models other than Space Marines I know you're working on.
Yes.
Or worked on.
Yes, I did. I did also take some of those Marines and convert them into some Dark Angels for myself because I had the urge after building them. Mm-hmm. That was fun. They're quick and easy. Space Marines are easy. I'm also working on a bunch of Dark Elf models because one of my small side projects I got into my head was looking at the 8th edition Battle Tome as we approach Old World, whenever that may be, and going, do I have every unit represented here, at least as a minimum size? Because I've done that for High Elves in 8th edition Fantasy. I've done that for Daughters of Cain. I don't think I've done that for any other army, if I'm honest, until recently. Well, I guess Fire Slayers, maybe? No, I might be missing a hero or two. No, I'm missing a unit, which is odd because there's only like 4. Regardless. It's like, let me do it for my Dark Elf army because I have so many Dark Elves, extra stuff I can swing around, and I like painting elves. So I painted up a Charybdis, an extra Hydra, some heroes, some Scourge Privateers, all for my fantasy, all in squares. And I have the last 3 models. Oh, I also had to kit bash up some Shades, which was kind of fun. I haven't kit bashed in a while, so that was exciting. Mm-hmm. But I have 3 models left in that project. Both chariots, the Cold One chariot, Scourge Runner chariot, and then also the Bloodrack Shrine. Which nice. The Bloodrack Shrine...
those chariots. Those are really cool looking chariots.
They are.
I'm kind of mad that they never really made it into Age of Sigmar. I mean, I know they did.
No, actually, they can run units of 3, which is really good.
I absolutely know, but you don't see them. Right? They're not anywhere.
I have a feeling you're going to see a little bit more in the new book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you will, because the heroes synergize well with it. I think you will see some more of the the Dark Elf chariots. At least, well, like I said, a unit of 3 here and there, or maybe a unit of 2, especially with the footprint.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited. 'Cause, so I can build up the Bloodwreck Shrine, prime it, and then paint those last 3. And actually, right now, I just have all my Dark Elves laid out over on my hobby table, and
Mhm.
it's just fun seeing a big army just laid out and cool like that.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I'm
Yep.
looking at it right now,
Absolutely.
just lovingly. But
My daughter took out all of her Idoneth Deepkin, and she painted those a little bit, but I mostly painted them. And it may be the best painted army I've ever painted with her help.
I know
So
that's paint up
I like I
nice.
walk by and I'm like, wow, those are awesome.
Yeah, and to anyone out there, for sure, like take your army out, put it on your hobby table, and just stare at it. It's
Yeah.
cool, and it's not a creepy thing to do. It's not weird. Like, just be proud of it. It's a cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta play with your
You did
war
the work.
dollies.
Enjoy it. Yep.
But yeah, I'm cruising through that. Um, yeah, and then I have a big project starting this week. This isn't a solo project, but it is a Games Workshop project. I'm myself and some of my local crew are going to be building one of the set of narrative tables for the U.S. Open Grand Narrative uh, here in November down in Atlanta. So it's a 40K table. Uh, I'm gonna try to do a YouTube video on that, but I'm gonna post about it. But also, I don't want to post too much because I want it to be a surprise.
Mhm.
I don't want everyone to see it before it gets down there. Like, so it might be one of those things where you see it after the events happened because I'll post after the event.
Sure.
Um, but it is a lot of product. Like, I think we're doing like 5 or 6 tables, and like there's a big centerpiece thing that spans all of them. But it is a lot of product. I'm sure most people have seen Breaking Bad, and they know the scene where there's the giant stack of money and the 2 guys just flop back onto it and lay down. I have done that with this product because there is that much of it. I,
Wow.
I can actually lay down on this product comfortably, and I'm at least 2 feet off the floor. There's that much product, which is fun because I have to take it to the place where we're building it and we'll store it there, thankfully. But um, it's gonna be fun, and there's also hobby supplies. But I can't wait
Yeah.
for that because that's just gonna be like cold autumn nights, early autumn nights, late building, hanging out with friends, just getting crazy with things. Like,
Sure.
it's narrative too, so we can kind of go a little bit deeper on some things. So that
I
should be
love that.
fun. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm trying to think what other hobby I have going on right now. Oh yeah, I wrote a battle pack. Almost forgot about
Yes,
that.
you did.
I
What's it for?
It's for the upcoming Terathi Classic 2023, uh, happening in December. Invites are already sent out. My hair's I need it. I don't want a haircut, but I need one. Um, yes, I wanted to do a full narrative this time. We are doing Age of Sigmar. As such, I decided to write my own battle pack because we all know the General's Handbook battle pack. It's a good battle pack. It's fine. Plus, there's a few things I wanted to change about it, make it my own. So I wanted to theme it more around Terathi, go more priest focused. I want pretty heavy on the priest. Like I said, being narrative means I can kind of go a little bit crazy on some things. I don't think I went too crazy on everything. I think there's enough in there to go like, I could see
Fully
going.
read through it yet. I've glanced at it.
What was that?
I haven't fully read through it yet. I've glanced at it, so I still need to deep dive it here.
Yeah, it's one of those things like if someone says, "Hey, do you realize how broken this is?" and I go, "Nope, but let me fix it right now." That's possible.
Yeah.
Um, And if anybody goes to the event and they are doing something that's completely broken and they didn't tell me, I'm gonna be like, cool, you can't use it anymore. So outright ban it from that one person because you tried to sneak it in. Because
Isn't
that's
narrative done that way?
there's a short list of
uh,
people coming who I feel would do this not in the right spirit of things. If you accidentally stumble upon it being broken, like, oh, that's amazing. But
oh
there's a few
yes,
people
somebody.
that I know coming that
Okay, I hope it's me. I hope it's me.
no, it's not.
I know it's not me, but
Yeah.
I wish it was.
But yeah, I decided to write my own battle pack, So it's all priest focused. So priests get a lot of cool things going on. Um, Artifacts, command traits, grand strategies. My favorite, my two favorite things for the section for battle tactics and core battalions. It just simply says any battle tactics of any kind are not used in this event. Also, same thing with core battalions. There's no core battalions. We're not doing that crap. I don't like that crap. We're not doing that crap. I don't want to see people fighting to be a one drop. You bring your shit and you put it on the table. And I don't want to see
I
people
just
worry
love
about
that.
battle tactics and getting like no, who cares? Your army has one
Yeah,
goal. You choose your grand strategy and you go and you try to win that scenario doing that grand strategy. That's it. That's all I gotta worry
I
about.
love it. And with corn, that's great because it's my general survives and yours does not. That's all I care
Yep.
about.
Well, I put in some fun ones too because I wanted things to be bloody, like Kane themed. So I think they achieved that goal. And they're kind of like
Nice.
one's loosely based off of like what Daughters and Kane can do already. So which is
Is
just
it all? So again, I haven't deep dive on it. So are all the grand strategies the ones in the pack that we're using?
no. You can use your book ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not banning book ones. I just want to give some extra flavorful ones in case someone's playing, Beast of Chaos, and they're just like, well, let me take this one where like all my heroes have to die or something fun. Like just, you know, just some different flavor.
Sure. All right.
But yeah, that was it was fun because I started with the narrative. Then from there, I figured out how my teams are gonna work because it's gonna be also like pseudo team event, 10 on 10 versus 10, and yeah, I just kind of like let it flow, and it was writing a whole battle pack is a lot more stressful than I realized it would be because I figured it would just flow, like boom, 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 and
Yeah.
some things did like flowed right after the other, but then like you sit there and you stare like, oh, what should my prayers be? I'm doing a priest focused battle pack. What should my prayers be? Oh
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yeah, it took about a day and a half to get the ideals down and then read it and kill a few darlings. I know, like I said, I'm sure there's gonna be more, but we'll get there as we get there. It's not it's not terrible. Plus, it's narrative. It'll be fun.
Speaking of killing a few darlings, like I love when I like send like like a preliminary rules, like, hey, this is what I've been working on. And I just get nothing back from Matt, and whenever I get nothing back from Matt, that means he's like, this is stupid.
Yep. He's just like, no.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just like, Dad told me if I don't have anything nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all. So
Like this person who told me.
yeah,
I just looked at the video. Like, what did he say about not locking my knees? Which thing? I wasn't locking my knees. Can I delete this guy? Can I block you? Fucking people. 50 zero
so
posts,
butthurt.
55 followers.
Let it go.
Nah, I
Let
hope
it go.
he stubs
Free
his
your
toe.
spirit.
Hope he stubs his toe. No, I was curious because I'm like, did I do something incorrect? And I was like, what was the movement? Because I can't
Yeah.
remember. Because it's like a 4-month-old video. I'm like, no, I didn't lock my knees out in that movement. I never do it. I know not to. What the hell? Anyway. And I was
Yeah.
wearing baggy pants. You can't tell what my knees are doing anyway. Like that's the shit. Like why?
Yeah.
I'm tilted. So like I say, it was a
Stop the
stressful day. I need to go
bullshit.
deadlift again apparently because I didn't get it all out.
There you go. Yeah.
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 But let's yeah. So Tarathi's underway. I'm excited for that. Uh, I'm not sure if you saw. We are changing up the because we're growing so much and we're going. There's many more states involved now than just Pennsylvania and Ohio. That we're changing
Yeah.
the belt and brick. So there'll be
Oh.
well, we're not changing them fully, but essentially what it is there's always the Tarathi's championship belt and the brick of shame for the two choices.
Mhm.
There'll be its own
Sure.
award, like in a plaque for it, called the brick of shame or championship belt, and
Uh,
you will get a picture taken with the belt and the TO, obviously, or the brick,
yeah.
and you'll be given that picture to put inside the frame. But because so many people are spread out across the country now as we're expanding, the belt and the brick,
Uh,
just for safekeeping, will remain here, but people will
sure.
get added to the honor roll so you know who won it and blah 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 blah. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I thought like, oh, I should change these out, but I'm like, they're too integral now, especially the brick.
Yeah, yeah. The break.
Yeah, that brick is too good. So
Maybe
they'll
we'll
still
try and win
be,
that again.
so they'll be part of the event, but yeah, it's slightly changed to that. But
Oh,
let's
funny.
talk future hobby. So obviously we're focusing on Terathi. I have some more Dark Elves going on, and a Napoleonic's army in my future. But let's talk not near future, not immediate future. What's next? What are you thinking? You get this map campaign, we're rocking and rolling. What do you think about doing next for your hobby as we go into the cooler months of the year?
Well, I mean, it's going to be mostly that for me. But as far as like actually models and stuff, I need to get. I don't know if I mentioned this last episode or not, but I need to get 5 more, 10 more Blood Warriors to
Right?
do what I want to do with my corn list, and then I need to probably build some more Reavers. Ooh, that just sounds so gross. I don't want any part of
I
that, but
I know
I certainly don't want to paint them.
it's
There's nothing
it's
like painting things that you just put down and then you scoop back up.
not only that. I've said it
Like,
many times. That's the unit, and I did 30 of them. That's the thing that almost broke me. Every other part of
yeah,
corn, like especially the bloodthirsters, I loved it. Painting those
yeah,
reavers where they have 12 different types of textures and they're just gonna die. I was like,
yeah,
why? Why am I doing this?
yeah. I mean, it is fun to paint some muscle men. That's always fun.
Sure. Oh yeah, yeah.
But
The skin is
that
always
that
the best
part of it is
part.
fun, right? Muscle
Always.
men is fun. But yeah,
Are you gonna
so
be
we'll see how it goes.
working? Did you have all your high elves painted now? The ones you
I
printed out?
don't.
Because you
I
could work on
don't.
that.
But right now, I've gotten a little poo-pooed on things. I was very excited for Old World, and I have no idea what's going on with that. So I'm
Which
still
is
trying to
why you
figure out.
should be excited about 8th edition like me, because we still play it regularly.
I know, but yeah, yeah, and I could get play people here as well.
Oh yeah,
But
you could. You could.
the thing is, the problem is so right now I'm enjoying this edition of Age of Sigmar so much, well, this current scenario.
Sure.
That was in some of the armies that I play. Like I'm enjoying the armies that I have.
Okay, so
That
yeah.
it's hard to want to do anything else. So, but it's all up there, and a lot of it needs painted still. So, but they were relatively, surprisingly so, quick paint ups.
Yeah, I
So
mean, you just paint them silver
they
and
won't.
then a little detail and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah. Get the blue in there. So I got plans to fill out that army, but I really want to kind of see what's going on before I dive back into it too much.
So you
So I
just
guess.
gotta never leave it like me. Stay full deep in, wading deep. You mix the
Oh,
Sigmar, you mix the
it's gotta get
40K, you
painted at
mix
some
this.
point. It has to get painted, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it just depends. I got so much to do with this. This guy's gray, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and then I know you want to. I've been running that 3D printer's been hot for the last I don't know week and a half.
Have you started any of the
So
things I requested?
not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I just got 2 bottles of resin. So
Actually, I'm
yeah,
gonna slim it down to make it easier because I was weak
you went and bought some.
about some stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let me know.
All right. Well, anyway,
Me
future
too.
plans. Obviously, Cities of Sigmar is my next Age of Sigmar. And that'll
Mhm.
be started hopefully soon once I get through these Dark Elves. Napoleonics is going to be like a late. Probably won't start it till after Terathi, if I'm honest. That's a late. That's like a start of next year type thing. I have a few
You could
Dark
douse
Angel
gasoline,
things. What's that?
you could douse it in gasoline, light it on fire. That'd be fine. Yeah.
It's pewter. It'd probably just stand up to it and be like, whatever,
Oh,
cool, bro.
it
I'm
wouldn't
not
go
dragging
anywhere.
anybody into Napoleonics.
I know. I'm just
I know my power has limits, and I'm not even trying with that. It's me and like 3 other guys who want to be crazy with it and sit branding where funny hats and talking
uh,
funny accents. Um,
I'm not sure Jesus could walk me into Napoleonics.
I got him hooked. I knew I'd get him. Um,
uh,
but I have a few Dark Angel things to like some vehicles. Just I picked up randomly, so I'll do those in the near future. Um, Cities of Sigmar is going to be my big focus coming up here, but I have a complete High Elf army. I'm about to have a complete Dark Elf army. I'm not that far off from a complete wood elf army, Neil, and I also have a complete dwarf army. I forgot about that actually. You helped me get there not long ago
Um,
with a 3D print.
nice.
So I asked you for some 3D prints. I,
Hmm.
you know, because things I couldn't get anymore, and then you started tempting me with like other cool sculpts. But when I picked up the Harbingers supplement book 2, I also grabbed the Sylvaneth Vanguard because it was so cheap with my discount. So
Uh-huh.
I'll have a Durthu I'm gonna make for my Wood Elf army. I have a new branch Wraith with that new branch Witch. It's gonna be a branch Wraith back in the old world for me. Because I already have
Hmm.
Dracha, the old Dracha, which is the yeah. And then
Yeah.
the Kurnothi I'm gonna use as tree kit, and I only want 3 because I don't really. I always run the elves, and you were gonna print me out some of those, so I don't need those. And I'll let you know because I may figure out a way to convert um those Spite Revenants into the
Mm.
Deepwood Stock Scouts or whatever they are for what else.
Yeah.
So I might not need those. So yeah, essentially I'm working my next mini goal will be to have a complete Wood Elf army, which is not much. Just like probably about 5 units. All tree related. But Neil, I'll talk to you offline, but I don't need as much. But the one thing I do want
Okay.
is you're putting me that I do want that awesome Phoenix
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
because I want to do an Arcane Phoenix. They never released that model, so I don't feel bad having a 3D print in my High Elf army. So
Right.
yeah, that'll be for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, future
Yep.
future future hobbies looking bright.
Love it.
Yes, and I can't wait to post up pictures and people to tell me how I did it wrong. That was a joke. I'm past that person now. Um, but yeah,
All right.
that's episode 70. Not a deep dive on anything. Just how it's been going on. Um, we'll think of something more clever for episode 71. Hopefully, there's some cool news
Hmm.
coming out about something we can talk about. Old world, please, something.
Hmm.
Or we'll review
Oh
my
yeah.
battle
We're
pack.
hitting a little bit of a lull right now.
Yeah,
A little bit of a lull.
yeah. Or maybe we'll do like a rumors show. Like
All right.
I'll
Let's
gather
do it.
all the rumors that I can find across the internet that are already out there, and we'll just deep dive and we'll try. Actually, that would be okay. Maybe this will be the next show, or if it's a future show for sure. I'll list out all the rumors that are like the YouTube talking heads are putting out there. Here's the rumors, and we'll each take that, we'll say it, and then you and I go back and forth, trying to stay believable, but outdo each other on how deep like the rumor is. Like, oh, I heard there's going to be new Space Marine
I
units,
love that. This
and
is
you're
all stuff
like,
that like
yeah,
yeah.
there's a new Space Marine unit, and you go, yeah, well, I actually heard that they're Tau Space Marines though, and I go, oh, how do I top that? I go like, well, they're Tau, but they've also had a, it's because they were saved in the warp. They were loyalists who were in the warp about to turn to chaos, and the Tau stumbled upon. Like we'll do that sort of thing. That might be fun, and we'll just drive Matt
We'll rabbit hole
crazy.
this shit. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Matt will watch this and tell us how we're wrong. And like, no, it's this,
Uh-huh.
it's this, and we're just like, it's all made up bullshit. It's gonna be good.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah.
sneak peek for the future, everybody. Ooh, yeah.
Perfect.
All right, that's the show. As always, everybody stay Stormcast strong and happy hobbying, and do not give out advice unsolicited on the internet because you'll piss me the fuck off.
Yeah.